patience. There's something about you, girl, I just can't fight. You're like that cigarette, that shot of 100 proof. No matter how much I get, I'm always craving that feeling when we kiss. The way your body moves. No matter how much I get, I'm always craving you. Craving you. All the in-between is killing me. You know I come unglued from missing you. Sunset eyes, no, I don't have to try, because you know exactly what to do. I never had something that I can't walk away from. But girl, my self-control so paralyzed. When it comes to you, no, I ain't got no patience. There's something about you that I just can't fight. You're like that cigarette, that shot of 100 proof. No matter how much I get, I'm always craving that feeling when we kiss. The way your body moves. No matter how much I get, I'm always craving you. Craving you. I'm always craving you. Every time we have to say goodbye, I'm counting down until we say hello. Every touch is like the strongest drug. I don't know how much longer I can go. You're like that cigarette, that shot of 100 proof. No matter how much I get, I'm always craving that feeling when we kiss. The way your body moves. No matter how much I get, I'm always craving you. Craving you. I'm craving you, baby. Craving you. I'm craving you, babe. You can never take our hearts away. You can never silence what we say. You can't hold us down another day. The revolution is getting closer. Stand up, take a side. Now you know the truth can't be denied. I promise you we won't give up the fight. We're rising up until it's over.
Today's matchup: Bisu, Kim Tae-yeon, Protoss, Shine, Lee Young-han, Zerg. StarCraft League Brood War ASL Season 3 Semi-Final.
Just spin around me like a child and sing your flat praise. Piling all your drama to the statue that you raise. I bet you rise from false gods and prophets of prey. Whatever is savior.
Welcome to the ASL. We are in the round of 4 And the winner tonight, of course, that means goes on to the finals. Will it be our giant underdog in Shine that no one thought would even qualify for ASL? Or will it be Bisu, the god of Protoss?
Well, it certainly does seem tipped in Bisu's favor, Artosis, but for Shine, I really feel like this is one of the most impressive performances from a newer player. I mean, he's obviously a very old player with a very old history in Brood War, but never achieving quite something as significant as an ASL round of 4.
Yeah, this is definitely the biggest moments in his career, which is wild because he probably thought his career was over for a long time. This guy's a professional observer. He's married. He has 2 kids.
Yeah. Anytime you have kids, you just really think your career's over, but you never know.
As a pro gamer, we've not seen anyone really succeed in this fashion having children, so it's a very exciting thing.
What's so cool is that, I mean, this is a guy that does have a family, that does have kids, and so in that way is very relatable to a lot of people out there. But here's a look at our grand finals venue at Children's Grand Park for the ASL Season 3 Finals.
Yes, it is an outdoor venue. It's the same one that we had for like the Pro League Finals last year, for Beyond versus SOS and GSL Finals. It's a great place. Make sure you show up early, though, because...
it'll get packed out, absolutely. Especially
seriously.
if guys like Bisu or Flash are playing there, you've got to get there early.
Like a Bisu Flash Finals is basically like the most epic thing that can occur. I know, yeah. Like, you better go directly from the studio here tonight to that place and camp out your spot, because it's going to be crazy. That's going to be on the 4th at 6 p.m. KST. That's 1 hour before now on the 4th.
Yep, and let's see. Looking forward to that final. I mean, we obviously have maybe Bisu and Flash as favorites to get there. Tonight, Bisu will take on Shine, and then next broadcast for the ASL, which will be on Sunday. That will be tomorrow. That is Soul Key versus Flash, which should also be incredibly impressive.
And then we are doing a 3rd place match, guys, and that is going to be on Tuesday. So the ASL just does not stop.
No. Every other tournament out there probably skips the 3rd, 4th place match.
Yeah.
No ASL. Gonna have even more Brood War out there, and so make sure to catch that on Tuesday.
That'll be a nice little Tuesday night special.
Yeah, sort of like the runner-up finals. You know, if these 2 guys had won, what would their finals look like? Well, now we get a chance to find out.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, Bisu vs. Shine. What do you think this match is going to look like tonight?
Well, here's a look at our players and the maps for our first game. The thing I'm kind of worried about is what if Shine goes down 0-2 and then just like loses his mental completely and just can never come back. Well, it's certainly a viable possibility. But for Shine, he's always been so creative at dismantling his opponent. With Bisu, almost no other player out there has as much footage as this guy. You can watch him play, you can watch him stream, you can watch his past games. There's a lot to look at there. So you kind of know what you're going up against, but it's a whole other situation when you're sitting in the booth playing against him.
It's very true, but Shine has not winked an eye yet. Okay, this guy has not lost a beat throughout the tournament, so there's definitely a chance he can take this. And in fact, if he can just take one early map, Rapid, that means that he gets Outsider, which is hugely Zerg favored over Protoss, and then suddenly we might have a Game 5.
I mean, I know about Char, but Outsider might as well be the Zerg homeworld. It's pretty good. And look at that 5/5 lifetime stats against Bisu?
And this is all really old, and Bisu was already a god at that time, and Shine was a good Zerg. Don't get me wrong, he was kind of an aggressive, cheesy-ish Zerg, but he's always done well against Bisu for his status within Brood War. Compared to Bisu's, this is an outstanding record. So definitely you got to take that into consideration. And we're in a different time, and Shine has really kind of leveled up the way he's playing. It's so brainy at this point. It's so based off of getting his opponent's head and messing him up. But Bisu's the greatest Protoss vs. Zerg player of all time, and I do not say that lightly. He is the greatest. There is not anyone that's near him. Free is not as good as Bisu at this matchup. Stork is not as good as Bisu at this matchup. He is the revolutionist of Protoss. He has invented how to play this matchup, quite literally.
Yeah, and how do you revolutionize your play against the revolutionist himself? A look at our absolutely packed out crowd tonight in the ASL studios. Finally, heading to an interview with our two semi-finalist players.
기다리던 4강 1경기를 준비 중인
Heading
김태경,
over to
이영환
stage
선수와
with
이야기
Stargirl
나눠보겠습니다.
for our interview
안녕하세요.
tonight. So,
안녕하세요.
hello Bisu and hello Shine.
네, 먼저 김태경 선수.
question
김태경
for
선수는 많은 무대를 경험하셨잖아요. 그래도 오늘
So
4강
Bisu,
정말
you have
특별하게 느껴지실 것
experienced
같아요.
so many
어떠신가요?
matches over your career.
좀
How
다른
does
때보다는
today's
더
match
긴장이
feel
많이 되는
different?
것 같아요. 또 관중분들이 또 많이
Says, well, I feel
오셨고
like I'm more
오랜만에 또 4강
nervous
올라갔기 때문에
than what it used to be for me to be in these
한
situations.
번만 이기면 또 결승이라는 생각에 좀 긴장이 되네요.
And yeah, we have so many fans here at the venue. So I also haven't made it to the semifinals that many times.
어떤가요?
So
좋으신 거죠?
this is still a special
어제
occasion.
새벽에
So how do you
잠깐
feel
한 바퀴
today?
돌았더니 감기 기운이 있는 것 같은데.
So
괜히
last
들었던
night
그
I
괜히 들었다는
walked
생각이
around a little bit late
동네
at
한
night.
바퀴 산책을 하셨다.
네, 좀 생각 좀 하려고 한 바퀴.
So I kind of actually have a cold a little bit because it was really cold last night and I couldn't really feel it. So I walked around late last night.
오늘
But
4강을
this
위해서
morning I guess I have a
정말
cold.
산책까지 마다하지 않은 우리 김태경 선수였던 것 같고
Okay.
우리 이영환 선수는 대략 8년 만에 지금 4강을
And now
밟고
over
계세요.
to Shine.
정말 오랜만인데 이 무대 어떠신가요?
So Shine, it took you 8 years to make the semi-finals of a tournament.
알고 계시죠?
사실 이제
And today you actually have so many fans at the venue and so many fans supporting you even
올라오는
online.
과정에서도 좀 많은 팬분들에게 기대감을 심어준 것 같고 또 상대도 제가 가장 붙어보고 싶은 상대와 경기를
Said,
또
well,
펼치는 것이기 때문에 좀
I made
벌써부터
it
좀
to the
많이
semifinals, so I
설레고
know I gained a lot of
붙어보고
fans,
싶었던
and I've made it there because of their
선수다.
support.
그럼 자신 있는
And,
건가요?
네, 솔직히 제가 생각했을 때 이제 토스전에 대해서는 자신감이 넘치는데
So
솔직히
this is,
다른 토스들
are you
잡는
confident
것도 없고
to
제일
face
잘하는
Bisu
프로토스
tonight?
선수를
He
잡으면
said, yeah, I think I'm more than confident to play against Protoss. I'm like,
여러 명
okay,
잡을
Shine.
있다고 생각이 들어서
He said,
준비 열심히 했어요.
I think it's actually going to be better because I'm not just facing off against the normal Protoss, but because I'm facing off against one of the top
그런 생각으로
Protosses.
준비했어요.
네, 정말 강력한 이영환 선수의
He said, so that's actually
자신인데요.
how I
김태경 선수,
feel prepared.
김태경 선수는 또 저그 전에 강력한
Bisu,
강자입니다.
You've been
이영환
showing
선수는 근데 어디를
really good
칠지 모르는 그런
performances
선수거든요.
against
오늘
Zerg.
어떤 식으로 분석을
Shine
하셨나요?
is a bit different.
세계에서
He's really
명밖에
good
없는
at twisted
그런
playing.
생각해요. 좀 스타일이
Yeah, I think he's very unique.
그래가지고 뭐 어떤
Nobody really has the
게임을
same
할지
style.
기대가 많이 됩니다.
네, 정말 양 선수가 서로를 높여주고
Yeah, I
있는
don't
말을
really know
하는 것
what to
같은데
expect
이영환 선수,
from the kind of
김태경
style he's
선수와
going to show
지금
tonight.
상대 전적이 5대5 동률이에요.
So Shine,
조지명식 때부터
you actually have an equal win rate versus Bisu, 5-5.
오늘도 지금 그러고 있는데
Even for group nominations, you've been showing great confidence against Bisu. So how do you feel about tonight's matches?
8강전에서도 사실
Says,
3대 0으로
you know,
준비를 했었는데
Whenever I
네.
prepare,
좀
I only prepare
실수하는 바람에 세트를 놓치게 했는데 오늘은
to make it 5-0. Wow.
3대 0.
The last
하지만
match I
상대는
had,
김태경
I
선수인데
lost
3대 0.
one map. That was
가능할까요?
a mistake. So if I don't make any mistakes, it's going to be 3-0.
상관없단 마인드여가지고
You don't just say things like that.
준비를 되게 잘 해왔거든요. 그래서 아마
Said,
기대하셔도 좋을 것
yeah, I
같아요.
think who I meet, it really doesn't matter.
이영환 선수입니다.
I try to focus on myself,
듣고
and as
있을
long
수만
as I
없잖아요.
play as I plan, then it'll be a good result.
화답해
So
주셔야죠.
Bisu, any comments you want to say about that?
근데 저번에 호선이도 이랬던 것 같은데.
Said, yeah, maybe you can think about
네, 다시 한번 그런
that. But this kind of gives me a little bit of deja vu
네, 아주
because Sock
전국을
said the same thing.
찔러버렸네요. 그럼
And we all know how that ended
마지막으로
up.
정말 많은 분이 와주셨잖아요.
In a really
강력한
close epic
각오 한
match.
말씀
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, that was actually a pretty good series.
많은 분들이 와주셔가지고.
So, any final words
긴장이 좀
before we
많이
head into
되는데,
game?
이번에 진짜 잘해가지고 한
Said,
곡이만 넘기면 이제
I know I have a lot of people here
넘길 수
tonight.
있도록 하겠습니다.
네, 김태경
This is the final
선수의
step. This is
각오였습니다.
one step
이영환
away from the
선수도
finals, so I'll do my
김태경
best to
선수에게
make it to the
한말씀
finals.
네.
So Shine, any strong
김태경
words
선수도
for us
준비를
before we get in the match?
좀
Said, I know
좋은
Bisu
게임
prepared
만들었으면
really hard,
네,
so
우리 시청자
let's make some
여러분들께도
good games
오늘
tonight for
좀
the
많은 분들이
fans.
기대를 해주시는 것
Any
같아요.
words to your
정말
fans
많은
tonight?
지금 이슈를 받고 있어요.
Says, I know there are a lot of people tonight expecting to see me show good games as well, and I won't disappoint you.
결승입니다.
Oh man, I can't wait. The confidence with which Shine is approaching this.
자, 자, 그럼
Also, the weaker the trash talk, the better the games, because they wish that they could say all this trash on stage. They have to say it in the game. So let's go ahead and get started here with tonight's semifinals. This music is Wishmaster by Nightwish. So sick, and what an epic night to wish for. Shine versus Bisu.
Round of 4 action, man. It's going to be a good one. Shine looking very confident. But should he be? We'll see.
I feel so helpless inside. Oh love, there's no need to hide. Just let me love you when your heart is tired. If your ghost pulls you apart, and it feels like you lost who you are. My love, there's no need to hide. Just let me love you when your heart is tired.
마지막으로 올 사람이 핵심일 가능성이 되게 크잖아요. 그것 또한 개인이가 제가 깔고 가기 때문에
이영환 선수랑 하고 싶어가지고 자신감이 넘치시길래 좀 놀랐어요. 재밌을 것 같아요.
Just let me love you. Just let me love you when your heart is tired. My love is tears in your eyes. My love, so helpless inside. My love, there's no need to hide.
이제 저희 관계의 인연을 끊을 때가 된 것 같아요.
Silver Scrapes. What a way to start out our semifinals. Bisu versus Flash, and an epic look back at their history.
Yeah, you know, this is an exciting match. I can't wait to see what they have planned for each other. Bisu, how do you approach this as Bisu? You know that Shine is going to be trying to trick you the entire time, but just the fact that Shine knows that you know that can change those tricks. He can make something look like a trick, but it's not. So if Bisu does not react in all the right ways, he might just straight die. And there are a lot of ways to die in PvZ early on if he loses his initial probe and can't scout. It could be a 3-hatch Hydra. We don't know. He doesn't know. And then it's like, do you overbuild cannons? Do you underbuild cannons? How do you deal with this?
Yeah, Hydra Bust is very popular. Been seeing them a lot in the SSL, and even here tonight, something that Bisu is going to have to keep on his mind. But, you know, let's not get it twisted. Bisu versus Protoss is a good matchup. It always has been. And just look at his win rate versus Zerg, almost 70%.
He's a killer of Zergs. That is how he has really kind of made his name over the years. Will he be able to do it here tonight and make it to the finals? He's had a few disappointing seasons in ASL, to be perfectly frank, because this is a guy that you expect to see in the finals. Everyone respects him all the way. He is the greatest Protoss of all time.
Yeah, meeting up against Best and then losing that previously, and then coming very close to losing in a very epic series versus Sok, just to make it here. It's been an incredible journey for Bisu, and I think the sort of the epic feel to tonight's match would be made just that much more impressive. Were he to advance to the grand finals, it would certainly mean a lot to Bisu, who made it to the grand finals of the precursor to the ASL Advanced StarLeague, where he faced off against Effort. But it has been a while for a Protoss player before he has made there.
Certainly, in fact.
What a song, Shine. The Everyman, the Underdog, the GSL and ASL Observer, who qualified for ASL and really blew away everybody's expectations.
Oh man, he really has. When he qualified just straight up for ASL, round of 24, right? A lot of people qualify for that, obviously. I was surprised, to be honest. I was like, oh wow, like this is pretty cool. You know, having a family and stuff. You have a job as an observer right now, so obviously you're still in the game. You still streams and stuff. But to show that type of skill when all these top and Broodwar players are playing and practicing, not all of them qualifying, was very impressive. And then he just squeezed through to that round of 16, and then there he went into the round of 8, and now the round of 4. It is just becoming madness, and he has been so strong in these games strategically. He is fooling everybody, he's making brilliant moves, and winning with style.
And look at his 100% Protoss win rate. That's only 2 wins, but those wins are against Free and Snow in 2 of the most epic PBZs we've seen all season long.
You are definitely right about that. You know, Free, of course, I mentioned him earlier. He's one of the greatest PBZers of all time, but a lot of his plays just based off of Bisu. So this is like, Shine is taking on the head of a race.
Well, Shine is going to give us a reason to prove wrong everybody that underestimates him. And even though you guys might think there's a great divide between him and Bisu, he has been very confident, even in just the interview as recently as tonight, saying that he doesn't care if it's Bisu or any other player. He feels very comfortable playing his game, and that has been a game that has been good enough to take him all the way here to the round of 4.
Who knows? Maybe he becomes the champion after all this. It would be a crazy story indeed. But Bisu, you know, we keep talking about how smart and how clever Shine is, but Bisu, his mechanics are second to none. His micro second to none. His multitasking, likely the best in the world amongst all players.
Yeah.
This is a guy that Shine has to show the games of his life tonight against to win.
I mean, there are crazy brackets and situations where players can make it oddly deep into a tournament, but when you hit a roadblock like Bisu, do you have the momentum behind you to smash through it? Can you figure out the ingenuity to overcome such an all-encompassing force?
Well, he is a wall for just about everyone who hits him, but a very special type of wall, one with knives sticking out of it. That's also electrified.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bisu's name does mean dagger, so we'll see if Shine can avoid getting that knife in his back, or whether or not he can overcome, Bisu's god-like, powers. It all comes down to this, our first match of the night in this epic best of 5 in the ASL semifinals starts right now. Oh, I'm getting chills, Artosis. It is, in fact, time, as they say, our Protoss player spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Circuit Breaker. He is Bisu. And his opponent, our Zerg player, the ASL Observer, it is Shine in the round of 4. Wow, Artosis. The year is 2017, but also it could be 2007 or even more than 10 years ago. These guys have been playing Shine, not the oldest of schools, but he has been around for a while, but never having made it this far in a tournament. No, and this is a good chance for him as well. Look at his parents who have come out tonight. Mr. and Mrs. Broodwar.
That's his grandfather and mother, I was going to say.
Oh my god. If I look that good when I'm a grandparent, I'm going to be doing pretty well for myself. Yeah, certainly, and no doubt very proud of their son/grandson going so well in this tournament. All right, it is a 9 pool for Shine to start things off. And we have a gas come up as well, so this is not necessarily an aggressive build, but it can be used that way. Bisu scouting in the wrong direction so far with this opening. Let's see what he wants to throw down here. Will he just put down the gate? We've definitely seen a lot of gateway pressure. No, it is going to be a forge in the second probe, so he's setting himself up for a possible cannon rush coming up. Of course, against this pool and then gas, the cannon rush is not going to be something that you're going to either be able to do or even want to do. So Shine is already safe against this. And in fact, having the pool this quickly, it's likely going to force some cannons out of Bisu and kind of slow him down in that regard. Yeah, so 2 probes is always a little bit strange, and especially if you see them both go in the same direction, then things get also really wacky. But because he does have these 2 probes, he's going to get a scout, and then he might also be able to block an expansion.
Cannon's going to start going up. A couple of them. If your opponent is getting speedlings, one cannon will not be enough. They'll just run right past
certainly
it.
Won't. And this is a big surprise when you scout the Zerg base and see no natural expansion. Oh my god, do you start hearing some alarm bells going off in your head?
Certainly do. Now, watch this probe, guys. Bisu is trying to slow the Lings, but Shine's micro is so on top of it. A lot of times, you can glitch that probe a little bit and slow the Lings down, but Shine was microing those really heavily and immediately attacking it.
Now,
very good moves.
Okay, Bisu didn't pull any probes off the line here, and Shine's actually sending his Zerglings back home.
Yeah, he wants to kill this probe more than anything. He wants to mask what he's doing, because you can do things like just mask Zerglings and eventually break through the wall or run by. And if he can kill the probe and have speed out, then Bisu has no idea what's going on. There could be a Hydra bust on the way. There could be a mass Ling all in. Hell, he could just be going up to 5 hatches with nothing but the initial Lings he made.
Ooh, so that was a really scary moment, and usually when you see players put on a lot of, or commit to an early build, you want to force things out like extra cannons, probes pulled off the line, something like that, but your Bisu really didn't even flinch.
No.
He had a second cannon, but I think that's the only reaction.
Yeah, the second cannon, and you're going to need to keep probes in the wall. If these Lings get in, speedlings, you are just going to lose infinity probes. It gets really bad really quickly. Definitely something that we've seen in Sulky versus Best recently.
Oh, yeah, no, that is a textbook example of exactly that. Now, Natural coming up here, but a lair morphing in his main. Shine did catch that scouting probe from Bisu, so taking that out really is going to deny a lot of scouting.
Quite a quick lair. This is really important to know.
Hydras.
Ooh, what are we going to end up seeing here? It could be quick lurker play. We could see something like a very fast drop.
Yep. And I love seeing those 3 probes there by the entrance. Those sort of function as the door to the wall.
Yes.
It might seem weird to have a bunch of probes just sitting idly by, but it actually does make sense to both stand there for defense and then also go to mine once this natural comes up.
All right, a Zealot has popped out, so he can kind of start filling the wall with that a little bit. This is exciting, man, because you almost always just go into Corsair, right? So if this is, like, for instance, a very fast drop, especially if it has something to do with lurkers, that you don't have detection, you don't get a robo quickly, you don't make a cannon in your main base.
Okay, so this is going to be something really weird, guys. Shine does know where Bisu is, and so he's hitting his forces kind of around the map a little bit, and now finally bringing everything to bear. This is going to be an aggressive bust. We'll see if Bisu can scout it, figure it out, and hang on.
Okay, Bisu trying to sneak a probe out, but of course Shine has been watching for this type of move specifically, forces it back instantly.
Bisu has no idea what's about to hit him.
No, he does not. But he is playing pretty safely, right? He's got his Zealots standing in that wall right now. He's got a couple cannons.
All right, so we're going to see a bunch of probes start to be pulled here. One Hydra hitting right now. Bisu knows exactly what's coming.
Okay, but this is actually a little bit of a trick, I think. Yeah, he's poking that. That's going to force a bunch of cannons. But I do think he's getting drops right now. And if he is getting drops, then all of these cannons at the front won't do anything to help his main base.
No. You can't actually even do anything. You've spent so much money on 5 cannons now at your front door that...
See, right now Bisu thinks this is like a 3-hatch Hydra bust. He could not be further from the truth there, though. Look at this. The Overlord way down the Corsair.
He's gonna get it.
That's a big deal that he catches that Corsair. We haven't seen if it's drop yet, but, I mean, that's... pretty darn sure.
So Shine's going to come down here and try to save that Overlord. If he catches it in time, then that is perfect. But, oh, wow, pulling it away before the Overlord dies. And, yes, indeed, Artosis, it is going to be a Ling drop.
Yeah, Lings and Hydra's going to be thrown into that main base ASAP. This is a big, big move. The Hydra's trying to protect these Overlords.
And now that Overlord probably can't be used to ferry units in because of how low health it is. They're going to try to dive down here and take it out, and indeed they will pick it off.
All right, not sure if there's any use there. I don't think so. Going to go ahead and try to drop off with this Overlord. The double Corsair dealing a lot of damage, though. Bisu's defense so far is immaculate.
Yeah, he will take out these 2 Zealots, but there are 3 Corsairs in the air. They're going to make dropping these Hydras further in the base even more difficult.
Well, where is the next Overlord? I believe that there might be one in front of the natural, but that's basically it right now, right? So this is almost completely held already.
Yeah, look at these probes. Probes are the best unit in the game, guys. Taking out every single Zergling, and I don't even think he lost one of them, maybe, but... Oh my god, this is so cool to watch. And now Bisu has an opportunity to go on the aggressive or on the offensive and take out Overlords.
Well, Bisu is in fantastic shape right now. He's got enough at his front that he's just not going to be broken anytime soon. He's going to continue to tech up. And as long as there's not anything crazy like a big drop hitting him, which it doesn't look like there will be, Shine is sitting here on so few drones and only 2 hatches.
So don't get it twisted, guys. This was an all-in. He was trying to make this really happen. He's economically way behind. I think he has 1 drone mining at his expansion. Shine will not be able to macro his way out of this just yet. So he's going to pull absolutely everything and try to shove it down Bisu's natural.
Okay, well, I don't know if he's going to be able to shove anything down that natural. There are a lot of cannons there, and Bisu now starting to add extra gateways, getting his robo as well. He can just continue to, go on his normal way here, and what does Shine do? Where is Shine's plan?
I mean, there's cannons in the natural, there's cannons in the main. He is going to try for one more attempt at making this happen. I
think he's just probably...
There's going to be Reavers.
Maybe speed overlords. Not even a bad call at this point. You're playing against such low econ Hydras. All you need is a couple Scarabs going off to kill him.
Oh my god,
okay,
here we go.
Speed drops on the way right now. The Corsair's kind of looking for this, but Bisu's already set up 2 cannons in his main. He's got his Zealots up there as well. Is Shine going to be able to do anything here?
Oh my god, this is so perfect. Bisu right on top of it. You don't want to drop your Hydras right on top of the Zealots. Kind of waffling a little bit as Shine will be able to offload even more Hydras all the way in the main. That's like 8 cannons at the front,
Dude,
7 cannons.
This is a lot of Hydras, okay? The Zealots right now, they don't have legs or anything like that. More cannons on the way. He's got a cannon up just about everywhere right now against Shine. He's pushing forward right now. The Zealot's coming up, trying to get the damage done, but this might be too many Hydras.
I think he might just have enough here. Shine, so many Hydras, all in Bisu's main. There's not enough cannons. Only 2 have completed. Shine will be able to take them out. 1 Reaver, though, is going to come out. Huge connections for the Scarab shots.
This Reaver is everything right now. He's picking off a lot of Hydras with it. He's taking some damage here. Shine continues to push.
Oh, huge Scarab shots there. Shine, his hands are shaking, his heart's beating, but the Reaver's still firing over and over again, and now the Corsairs coming to bear against Shine's Overlords.
Pushes them back for the time being. Bisu narrowly pushing everything out. The Reaver, a fantastic call for this situation.
Oh my god, Artosis. Shine's going to try one more attempt at making this work, but it's just not going to be enough.
No, there is enough here to easily push us back. The Corsairs getting on top of these Overlords as well, and Shine at this point has just about no outs. GG is called, and Bisu defends against the nasty mind games of Shine.
Oh, Artosis. What a way to start our semifinals. Shine going for a very strange strategy. He hit it perfectly. He executed it almost perfectly, but Bisu just had exactly enough to defend at every point.
Yeah, this was really a masterclass of defense from Bisu. The fact that Shine was really throwing him off when he started hitting the Hydras in the front. This was a brilliant move. Force a ton of cannons. You're spending all of your money on cannons. All your gateway units are going to be later. It's going to be hard to drop. If that Corsair had not found that first Overlord, that is the turning point in this game. If he had not found that in such a strange spot, kind of sitting down there and the Hydras immediately came down trying to help, that kind of screamed what he was up to, right? Yeah. And from there, Bisu just amazing on the defense, just getting the Reaver in time when Shine was busting through those cannons as well. God, that was a good game.
We're going to head out to a quick break. We'll be back with game number 2 of Bisu versus Shine.
지금까지 방구하러 가서 나쁘다는 말 들어본 적 있어?
모두가 쉬쉬해온 방에 대한 나쁜 정보.
눈으로 보자. 따방.
원드라 반다기 에이서브리 웬디 아재분들 라이드신 형님들도 좀 손쉽게 플레이할 수가 있고 일단은 메인 이벤트 진행 한번 해보겠습니다. 아 지금 반지 재미나게 하고 있다고? 반지 가장 좋은 시스템이 아닌가. 성물 2개 실어 성 뱉었다고? 성물 2개 나왔어 지금? 공격력 3등 게임이 클래스가 있어 좀 오래 간다고. 그렇지 빵 되게 재밌다. 레벨업 할수록 다양한 할 거리가 있는 반지 나마티 감사드립니다.
뭐야 이게? 설마 탄? 전국민 슈팅 그라운드 탄! 지금 사전 예약하세요.
빛의 힘을 보여드리죠.
반갑네.
얘들아, 힘을 빌려줘. 누구도 나를 막을 순 없어. 방해하겠다면 전부 부숴주지. 판타지 마스터즈 2.
냄새가 나. 어두운 곳에 숨은 냄새를 풍기는 바로 너!
바로 너!
원인은 쾌쾌한 에어컨 냄새. 신제품 페브리즈 차량용으로 상쾌하게. 차량용.
오버워치 아이돌 학교를 소개합니다. 대한민국을 대표하는 최고의 게임 아이돌을 육성시키는 e스포츠 전문 학교.
마음을 비우고 눈앞의 임무에 집중하라.
실전 대처술 등 체계적인 교과 수업 그리고 균형 잡힌 PC방 식단을 통해 게임 아이돌로 성장하게 됩니다.
뭘 넋을 놓고 보고 있나.
오버워치 아이돌 학교는 매주 목요일 저녁 10시에 방송됩니다. 등교 시간 확인하여 지각하지 마세요. 오버워치 아이돌 학교.
Welcome back, everybody. We just saw an excellent first game. Shine really trying to trick out Bisu, and it's so nearly working.
Oh, it really did. As soon as he dropped off the second load of Overlords filled with Hydras in the maze, I was like, wow, that's a lot of Hydras. And there was no area of effect damage for Bisu at that point until that Reaver came out just in the nick of time.
His decision-making here in crisis management was just crazy. The fact that Bisu not only smelt out the drops coming after making so many cannons at his front base, which Shine rightfully forced him into, to rush right into Reaver. That is such a great move because normally what you want to do, you want to have some Corsairs, you want to get into Zealot legs and Psy Storm, these types of things. It plays out better in the longer game, but since Shine has done this all-in move, this super-duper all-in move, all he needed was just to get some sort of splash damage, and Reavers are going to come out a lot faster in this situation than Storm.
Yeah, now the good thing about Shine is that he's not just a cheesy player. He's done a lot of very creative strategies, and oftentimes those are earlier on in the game. But I think the cool thing is that if you watched Shine's very first games in the SSL and his group stage matches versus Free and Snow, he was able to play long macro games and win them in the end.
That is right. You might have to bust some of that out here tonight, but Bisu will not be denied with a game like that, man. That was crazy. Next map going to be Andromeda, though. Definitely a map that I think Shine can show a multitude of different creative styles and strategies.
Yeah, very, very different than Circuit Breaker, which I feel is kind of like the fighting spirit of this map pool. It's very standard. Everybody's played games on there, hundreds, if not thousands. Definitely thousands for both of these guys. So, very different style. And I think the things can be very important is to see how both players react to that first game. Is Shine maybe a little bit shaken since their strategy didn't work out?
Well, it could be, but I think he's not going to fret about it too much. That was fantastic play out of Bisu. I'm sure that he has a great plan on every single map. And truthfully, out of these first 3 games, if he just wins one, man, he gets to go to Outsider for map 4,
right,
which probably leads to a map 5. And I mean, at that point,
anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Now, Bisu's going to be doing his best to avoid having anything happen. He's just such a he's the full package, really. There's no area. Different players have different superpowers, right? Different things that they're very good at. Well, Bisu is actually just good at almost everything, and the stuff that he's not good at, he's not bad at either. So it's just going to be incredible to watch and see how he reacts to that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our second game of tonight's semifinal best of 5. Looks like we are ready to go, so here we go. Game number 2 between Bisu and Shine.
I tell you, this crowd tonight is crazy.
Just listen to this one.
I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it is loud in here. It's standing room only. Every single chair being used.
There are people lined up against the walls because even though we've expanded the studio for extra seating downstairs by moving us up here, it's just insane to see how many people are out here. That was Bisu. This is his Zerg opponent. In the purple, it is Shine.
All right. Andromeda. It's cross spawns. What strategy will Shine go for? That's really the crux of it, right? We're not overly expecting Bisu to do anything out there, anything crazy. I think he's just going to, in general, play very safe games.
Yeah,
because anything else, he's better if he can live.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Shine has to kill him pretty early or Shine will not win.
Now Shine was very confident in his interview at the beginning of the game, and I think that confidence is probably true. It's probably genuine. But he also knows his enemy. Oh my god. This guy wasn't even born the last time these two players played.
No, he certainly was not.
Definitely a big fan.
That is an amazing sign.
Oh my god, my laugh is way too high-pitched, but that was hilarious. Oh my god, the best sign of the night.
Oppa is like older brother for a woman to say in Korea, and it's like kind of this thing that you hear all the time very whinily.
Oh my god.
Oppa.
Oppa. Yeah, just like that, guys.
It's kind of like almost a
channeling my inner Korean girl
thing.
there.
But
wow, so many 6 signs in the audience. Don't even blame that person for making that sign. I think I am the Shine's kid. Is he? Is that actually his child? He'd actually have to be like at least 100 years old.
I think that might have been a side joke.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, maybe he is. Yeah, maybe like that side video.
Yeah.
Daddy. It's pretty good. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, that picture reminds me, how attractive Bisu is. But these pro gamers have a lot of crazy nicknames, like Shine or Bisu is the Revolutionist, the Bruce Lee toss, like all these kind of names. Well, Shine actually got a new nickname from his performance and also his group stage. They call him Mr. Bag of Builds.
Mr. Bag of Builds?
Yeah, that's the way it directly translates. Because he said he had a big bag of builds that he was going to reach into and pull out new strategies, and then he comes out with crazy things like, is it Heat's Overlord feint?
Yeah.
Stuff? It's so cool.
It's funny because he hasn't been lying.
Yeah.
He was so overly vocal that everyone was like laughing and making fun of him during the group selection because it's like, you're barely here. Everyone thinks you suck.
Yeah.
And then he gets picked right away. He gets out of his group. I mean, you guys know the story at this point, but like, he hasn't been bluffing. It's not like when Mong says he has, or Sock says he has some sick TVP build or something, or TVT build, and doesn't get picked. Shine has these builds. He has so many different strategies he's been using.
Great probe control, impeccable. Definitely one of the early game hallmarks of Bisu, able to keep that probe alive way farther than most other Protoss players, and it's going to help him a lot when it comes to getting this early scouting information.
Well, this is incredibly important, and this is something we were talking about before. If you don't keep this alive, a 3-hatch Hydra play can come at you and you can die.
Absolutely, and Bisu's going to get in here. He's going to see that lair morphing pretty early. Now, he's not going to see a third, is that a third hatchery?
Yeah, it's at the mineral
hatchery,
base. So he has all the intel he really even needs already on this probe. Obviously, he wants to keep it alive as long as is possible. A lot of times you can even see if they're going to go Spire or Hydralisk Den, and that's great. Great stuff to know. But this is really good for Bisu so far. Whatever Shine's plan is happening much later in the game now due to this good probe scouting.
What's interesting, right, as I think about it, is you see how Bisu's controlling his probe and keeping it alive? I would wager that 70% of the audience watching this couldn't keep it alive that long.
Oh, certainly not.
You think about that. This is movement of a single worker in a game of Brood War. There's Panda Bear guy. Shout out to that guy. It's pretty cool. But yeah, now that more Zerglings are coming out, Bisu wisely, moving his probe back away. And I'm not even slighting our viewers. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, it's actually just so difficult to do that and hit all of your timings back at base. Shout out to Panda Bear guy again.
Well, the probe getting out of here now. There are some Zealots popping out, and of course the Stargate on the way. Zerg Spire coming up, and this isn't like really that uncommon. We probably won't see mutas. Sometimes you just see some Scourge pop out, try to catch the first Corsair. If you get the first Corsair, it gets really hard for Protoss at that point, because then you can kind of hunt Corsairs a little bit more comfortably, and if you can't build up a good Corsair count over time, then that becomes a big Zerg advantage.
Yeah, a fourth macro hatch coming up there by the third. This is really interesting. A lot of times you'll see either 2 base, 3 base, or 5 base plays. So it'll be kind of cool to see. What's so interesting is that Shine has something prepared specifically for this map, for this player, for this exact opportunity.
No doubt about that. And I'd be very surprised at this point if we don't see another hatch going up soon. If you're going for like not a 3-hatch type of play or some sort of all-in, then you're normally going to go for 5 hatches on 3 bases.
Oh, there it is.
You can pretty easily, with normal Zerg saturation, support the 5 hatches. And if you make a few more drones, definitely you can get that 6th. But 5-hatch Hydra after a Spire, this is like very textbook ZVP stuff that we're watching.
Yeah, and it might look weird to have those 3 hatcheries all right next to each other in a line. You don't really see that, but you do see this many hatcheries, so it's not really that surprising. Whoa, 2 Scourge connect.
Ooh, that's a strong kill right there for Shine. Like I was saying before, you definitely, if you can get that first one, it's a big deal. But look at this. Once again, going for Reaver-type play here. It will ensure that he has splash damage for anything that comes at him. And of course, that means that he's going to have a lot of shuttle play, which means he can take an island, but you need a lot of Corsairs with this.
Now he's going to fly in here and try to get right on top of it. Oh my god!
That is so unbelievably big. Losing your first 2 Corsairs to Scourge. He hasn't even killed Overlords with them at this point. This is a big moment for Shine.
Oh my god, that timing, that is so insane. You can play 100 games of Zerg versus Protoss and not do that. It's just so impeccably timed. Even finding that second Corsairs, the first and third that died, second one still flying around for its life. But at this point, Bisu can't really commit to going for you anymore.
No, well, this is kind of a gross situation for him.
Yeah.
Adds the second Stargate, because when this makes a lot of sense from Bisu, right? Especially considering he's already going Reaver. He needs to hold on, first of all, but if there's a tech switch into mutas at this point, which there could be, without that second Stargate, he'd end up dying.
Now, here comes Shine across the map. He's going to try for a Hydra bust. These are going to be probably, do they get the +1 for this, or is it just the range upgrade?
Well, they're going to want range and speed on these Hydras,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
rallying them down really quickly. Look at this macro. Just look at the mini-map as all these Hydras move down.
Yeah.
He's adding a second Robo, so this is going to be massive amounts of Reavers coming out of Bisu, and all he needs to do right now is hold on.
Now, he did also, or Bisu rather, did go for a couple more Corsairs, so I think he has 3 and a Shuttle and a Reaver. So, 4-5 now.
Yeah, he's got a very healthy Corsair count, but this is a drop coming in, and is he going to be there in time? He's not. This means there's no wall to help out. Only maybe 1 or 2 Reavers are going to have to try to take all of these out.
Yeah, and only one Scarab connecting with one other Hydra, trying to get it deep in there and hit that Shuttle, pushing it back. It no longer has shields. There's 2 Reavers at the bottom of the ramp, but they need to get up on top.
This is really tough. He's going to go ahead and shuttle them over. This base probably going to be going down, but Bisu does have theoretically enough to hold this.
Not the greatest connections on those Hydras. They will still all be taken down. Pulling the probes. One of the Reavers gets taken out. There's no Shuttle here to save it. And that means that if these Hydras, they'll take out the second Reaver.
Oh, another drop coming in once again. That Nexus not going to stay up. Shine pushing down on top of the Robo. Bisu's starting to feel the heat right now. And with more Hydras coming in, these Corsairs are not doing their job.
This is 5-hatch Hydra at its finest. Almost too many Corsairs there. And wow, that's actually a nice shutdown.
Yeah, he's starting to eliminate all of these Overlords, but that is a lot of Hydras in his main base. He's going to have to fight with all of his probes here, which means a big chunk of his economy will end up falling down. This Reaver has to get up and help out. He lost his second Robo, though.
Yeah, he did lose that second Robo, so it's only 1 Reaver at a time. It's also shuttleless, so it will be able to get dove on by Hydras. Very, very dangerous. You definitely need supporting units.
Everything going wrong for Bisu right now. The Hydra's going to catch these Corsairs. Ooh, he micros them away very quickly, very swiftly there. But his main Nexus looks like it might end up falling here. And don't forget, Shine's still on 5 hatches.
Oh my god, that Reaver, gets a double explosion there. Hydra's trying to move through probes, but the Reaver gets taken out.
See, he's getting some good shots, but these Reavers are so expensive. He saves the Nexus for the time being, but can he keep the drops out of his base?
Can't pick up that Panderbear guy and bring him with him. But yeah, more Overlords. They're trying to find that. So he's trying to fake in, just drop a couple at a time so he doesn't lose a lot. That is a lot of Corsairs. The Hydras will be able to at least push them back, takes out 1.
Okay, more Corsairs are popping out, and you might be asking yourself, why does he keep making them? Because he can't let these keep getting dropped in here. This is really hard for him to actually hold on against, and without a lot of gateway units, without a lot of Reavers, if these keep dropping, he's going to die. So he needs to get cost efficient, pick off these Overlords as they're trying to drop out the Hydras, and gain an advantage in that way if he's going to win this game.
Bisu has held on, but he is not out of the woods just yet. So many Overlords there, all grouped up. The Corsairs will come in, diving on top of them to try to take them out. But it looks like Shine has gathered all of his Overlords into one place for one purpose.
This is a smart move by both sides. You notice he keeps hitting them and moving. So he's trying not to let his Corsairs die while bruising everything enough that he can dive on them when the actual drop comes. But look at this. Cannons in the main base. A Reaver there as well. Bisu trying to hold on at all fronts.
He does have a lot of surface area. Killing that Extractor will make it difficult to find the gas to keep this Corsair count high. But Bisu playing this very carefully, but not on top of his Reaver control. He's going to lose it.
Yeah, that Reaver was just kind of attack moving over to that side, so a little bit of a surprising mismicro there by Bisu.
Here's the shuttle. He's going to drop the Reaver off. There's 2 of them there. He's almost loses one. Oh my god, he saved it with 2 HP.
Totally sick pickup there by Bisu, and clears those Hydras once again. He's taken a lot of damage, but Shine is he is pressing the issue. He is not done here.
Shine was Tim Allen in another life. Never give up, never surrender. He's definitely not, man. He is continuing this Hydra pressure.
It's costing him a lot, though. So many Overlords have been picked off throughout this whole time. Even more going down now. There are Hydras in his main base, but he's got quite a few cannons in there as well. And as long... Oh, that's rough for Bisu.
Yeah, he's going to lose quite a few Corsairs. He also doesn't... Okay, he just rebuilt that gas in his natural. So he will have that diving in there deeper on top, trying to take out that shuttle. Getting the shields down on both Reavers, but the shuttle just barely survives.
Yeah, this is some good baiting on that shuttle overall. Nothing was in the shuttle that time. He was just kind of attack moving up to clear out these Hydras. He needs to secure this gas.
Shine
Look at this.
Over and over again. This time dropping in a separate position. We'll get a lot of Hydras on that high ground.
Well, there's 4 Reapers out at this point, so it's starting to get pretty high numbers. Oh my God, some great Scarabs coming out. Shine, he's looking a little bit less happy on his face right now, realizing that Bisu is starting to stabilize everything.
Yeah, now keep it in mind, like Shine has done a lot of damage here, taking out quite a few Hydralisks, or quite a few Reavers over and over again, quite a few Shuttles, quite a few Corsairs. So he's done damage, but he hasn't gotten enough damage done.
Yeah, do you stay on this strategy?
Yeah.
Or do you give it up? If you give it up, doesn't that give Bisu this great situation? Okay, this is a very nice move.
Wow.
While the Corsairs are trying to attack Overlords, if he can flank in with enough Scourge and clear everything, a tech switch to Mutas could end the game.
Yeah, now also it should be noted that Scourge are actually pretty hard to use in large numbers. You have to do what's called cloning, and that's where you take 2 Scourge and you click on a Corsair. 2 Scourge, click on a Corsair so that they split apart and each Scourge goes in the right direction.
Ooh, he is switching into the Mutas, man. This is
Shine!
He's even got the +1 armor to fight against the Corsairs so that everything doesn't die as quickly.
Look at this transition. How do you not only think to do this exact build, but then be like, okay, well, if this happens, here's my transition. Let's go for it.
Well, I tell you, it's hard to fight against so many Reavers, and he's killed enough Corsairs this game that this might end up working. It's a smart move by Shine, but he's kind of all in with it. If these Corsairs kill everything, he's going to be dead.
He's going to run the Corsairs back away. There's a lot of Scourge behind them. Several Corsairs will go down there, but the Shuttle with the Reaver coming out at the same time, going around the bottom of the map. Maybe trying to circumvent here.
He only loses 1 Corsair to the initial Mutalisk engagement, so that's actually pretty strong by Bisu. He's restarting his Corsair production as well, and suddenly it's Shine doesn't really have much to do with these Mutas. You can't dive on top of the cannons to kill everything.
Now there are a couple of Scourge here waiting for this speed shuttle. This shuttle had a probe and a Reaver in it. Reaver will, or the shuttle will show itself over that hatchery, but here we go. Scourge starting to get controlled. Cloned here onto the Corsairs. Can they find connections? Only 1.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, though, because as he pulls around like that, they all clump up. If you hit that with just a few Corsair shots, every Scourge will explode.
Oh, no, here we go. He's going to drop something in the mineral. Is that shuttle empty?
It might be. It might be. This might be kind of a scouting shuttle, trying to force the Mutas back to chase it possibly as well.
Well, it's not working so far. Shine really doing a great job. He is expanding right now behind this, so this is not necessarily still that all-in kill you kind of move. On the hunt for the shuttle. He's finally going to find it.
Okay, so he'll be able to take this one out, and I
might even be just
quite sure that there's nothing in there at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 Scourge will kill it.
Okay.
So, anyways, takes it out, and Shine taking multiple bases, so he still does have control here. To actually attack with Corsair Reaver is a little bit difficult. Like, there are very fancy moves where you kind of cover your shuttles, fly in, drop off a bunch of Reavers, and do a lot of damage, but Reavers shoot so slowly. If Mutas get on top of the Reavers or the shuttles, they're going to be dead in 2 seconds. It's a difficult composition to actually pull off. We rarely see it.
Now, Bisu has been trying to get something up here down at the 6 o'clock. It's most likely just scouting pylon there. Ooh, picks up quite a few Scourge. Great control.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Corsairs right now. I think that Shine just has to switch up his tech at this point.
There are still quite a few Hydras left over, and it looks like he's going back into that Hydra tech.
That does make sense. You're not going to be able to fight against these Corsairs if he just keeps producing them. If you don't tech up to like at least Devourers to try to fight them, you're not going to have a single chance.
Dropping the Reaver to kill off a drone and that Zergling getting ready for maybe another expansion. Now Shine has expanded to the upper right-hand base, which might look a little bit weird, but it's pretty normal to see Zergs take other mains across the map to try to get their further expansions.
Well, if you're expanding all over the place, like let's say Bisu makes a strong move and kills top right, that opens up a lot of time and room for Shine. He can either do some sort of counterattack. He has base on the other side of the map, so to lose that base, like Bisu has to travel extremely far. You can't just like walk around and kill everything right in a row. So
that is so many Corsairs.
Yeah, it is.
That is
and they've got at least they have +1 right now, so that's just so much splash damage coming out.
Oh, wow. Running them back over those Hydras. A couple of shots going off.
All right.
What is the next move here? Here come the big Scourge hits, but so many getting taken out. The Muta's flying right on top, but there's even more Scourge. How many connections can he get? The bounces, the splash damage, it's there. Dropping 4 Reavers. The Burrow on the drones!
Oh, the Burrow is absolutely fantastic, saving so much. And it looks like these Mutas could be enough to clear out everything here. If he can kill these Corsairs, the shuttles will come next. Oh!
Both shuttles fly into waiting Hydralisks.
All right, this is looking pretty good for Shine at this point.
Oh my God, Artosis, this game just totally got flipped over. So many Hydras, Mutas, Scourge, everything that he needs. And behind this, it's carriers.
Actually, that's going to be for +2 attack most likely, and I think that he might get defensive web with it as well.
Disruption web, yeah.
Disruption web.
All right, I got a little bit carried away there, guys.
No, it's okay. But look, that's it's really cool. You see how hard it is to actually attack with this composition. This is like so difficult to use, and Shine is doing a good job against it. He's got that +2 carapace as well, let's not forget.
Oh, how cute. You made more Corsairs. No, that's never going to be enough.
Okay, these drops, though, has opened up the possibility of Shine to get some more damage done, but more and more Corsairs on the way. Dude, this game is looking like it's going to be really long. It's not like Bisu can kill him anytime soon, but it's going to be hard for Shine to actually end up killing as well. Yeah. So he's teching up right now into Hive, and this gives him a lot more options. Devourers, they have high armor, they do some splash, they add the acid spores, slow down attacks. These can be a great move against this type of strategy as well.
Here we go, another big Hydra drop going to shut down that third base for Bisu. He does have a 4th up down at the 6 o'clock, but this base is gone. GG! Bisu taps out! Shine does it and takes a game away from Bisu.
Wow, that was a really good one as well. Bisu almost holding on, but those drops of Shine doing a bit too much damage. And of course, Bisu feeling like the game was getting out of control. He had to get active on the map. He had to do something. And Shine shut him down when he did.
Oh my God, Artosis, impeccable control there by Shine. He didn't give up on those drops early on, but he did know when to tech out of it, and it just really worked out. He was able to stabilize his economy, take out Bisu's Corsairs, and pick off those 2 shuttles. Totally turned the game around.
Yeah, and this makes the whole series into something else altogether. Camelot's next, who knows what happens there, but then Outsider. It's a tough match for Protoss. Not saying Bisu can't win it, but right now, this is looking tougher for Bisu than maybe what he was expecting coming in.
All Shine had to do to get to Outsider is take 1 game. He has done that. So that is going to send us to a quick break. Don't go anywhere, guys, but if you do go somewhere, make sure it's to tell a friend about tonight's games. This is the ASL semifinals. One of these players will advance to the ASL Grand Finals, Children's Grand Park.
Children's Grand Final Park, more
That's
like.
what it is. So many StarCraft finals have been there, and so the one coming up is definitely going to be just as epic. So we're going to head out to a quick commercial break. Be back. Game number 3 of Bisu versus Shine.
지금까지 방구하러 가서 나쁘다는 말 들어본 적 있어?
모두가 쉬쉬해온 방에 대한 나쁜 정보.
다방면으로 보자. 다방.
스노우를 그렇게 좋아해요. 이 표정 뭔지 아시죠, 여러분? 야동 다 보고 현자 타임 왔을 때 일본 친구들하고 사진 찍을 때 엄청 찍었어요, 사진. 마이카 아리가또 극혐이야. 아리카와이. 제 방송에 남자밖에 없고 고추밭인가요? 아니야. 친구를 만들 수 있다는 바로 민성학개론.
뭐야 이게? 설마 탄? 전국민 슈팅 그라운드 탄! 지금 사전 예약하세요.
빛의 힘을 보여드리죠.
반갑네.
얘들아, 힘을 빌려줘. 누구도 나를 막을 순 없어. 방해하겠다면 전부 부숴주지. 판타지 마스터즈 2.
냄새가 나. 어두운 곳에 숨은 냄새를 풍기는 바로 너!
바로 너!
원인은 쾌쾌한 에어컨 냄새. 신제품 페브리즈 차량용으로 상쾌하게. 차량용.
오버워치 아이돌 학교를 소개합니다.
사은서 우리는 오버워치 아이돌 학교의 교육과정을 성실히 임하며 최고의 게임 아이돌로 성장할 것을 다짐합니다.
좋았어. 이제부턴 진지 모드.
신입생 입학 조건 단 하나. e스포츠와 오버워치를 사랑하고 PC방을 좋아하면 돼요.
뭘 넋을 놓고 보고 있나?
매주 목요일 저녁 10시에 방송됩니다. 오버워치 아이돌 학교.
Here we are tied up 1-1 in the round of 4. Shine against Bisu. Who gets to go to the finals?
And what a way to get here to 1-1. Such an impeccable game by Shine. Corralling multiple groups of Corsairs, finally taking them out, taking out all of Bisu's shuttles, pressing across the map for the win. And now we get on to our third map of the night. This is going to be Crusader, or not Crusader, Camelot. Same idea. I just saw King Arthur this weekend. That's the only thing going through my mind.
Well, I got to tell you what, this game is guaranteed to be better than that movie.
Oh my god, you are not wrong there, Artificus. And here we go with Camelot in game number 3. You know, this is an interesting spot to be in. I think really Shine's attitude of, not caring who he's playing against, just preparing the builds, executing them very well, is going to serve him very well in this very high-pressure situation.
Yeah, this map as well is a very different one, right? Kind of small overall. Definitely a lot of dropping area for Shine should he choose to go with that type of style. Will Bisu stay on some cannon openings? It's hard to say. Is he going to keep going Reaver? Definitely these early Reavers can keep you alive in the direst of situations, but as we saw in that last game, man, it is hard to attack with a composition like that.
Yeah, lots of control, lots of micro required to protect those shuttles and Reavers, and sometimes it's just too much. And also against Shine, like, how do you even know what tech to go for? He's so good at being sneaky, hiding tech, killing your scouting probes. How do you know?
Yeah, he's definitely got this planned out very, very well. Let's see what he's got on this map, though. Camelot. A very important and decisive map coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be our third game of the night. Get out there, tell your friends, and cheer for Bisu against Shine here in the ASL semifinals. Not sure what's better tonight. Games or those fan signs. It was pretty good. This is Kim Taekyung. That is Bisu. He is spawning in the red as Protoss in the bottom right-hand corner. His opponent, our Zerg player tonight, Shine.
So excited to see what Shine has planned here. He's been using a lot of drops so far. Could be that once again. I mean, drops are just straight up good against Protoss. That's for sure.
Shine is truly the Nestle Wonder Ball Zerg. Gonna open him up, find out what's inside. You think that it's like a heart and organs, but no, it's actually just another sneaky build. How does it work? I don't know.
I would call him the Kinder Surprise Zerg, but yeah, I guess we can use Nestle Wonder Ball.
I don't even think they make Nestle Wonder Balls, because I know those and Kinder Eggs are banned in the States.
Are they?
Yeah, because Kinder Eggs are too dangerous for kids.
Oh, clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
What a fool I've been gambling with my daughter's life.
No,
giving
Kinder
her Kinder
Eggs are the world's attempt at returning to like that Spartan lifestyle where you leave the kids on the mountain over for a week, and if they're still alive, you raise them.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're just weaning out the kids that die from Kinder Surprises. Maybe that's the real surprise.
Oh, my God.
Okay, all right, back to a less morbid reality, and that is game number 3 here, which may be a little morbid if you're Bisu fans and had him lose game number 2. See if we can keep this probe alive and see what Shine has coming.
So look at this, what he's doing, guys. Bisu is kind of tagging the drones. He's attacking them and moving away, and this is because not only, of course, probe shields come back pretty quickly, but probes have a little bit of range and quicker excel, so you can actually kind of kite and harass the drones a bit and cause a little bit of lost mining time.
Yeah, and also if you attack them enough and they don't regenerate it all the way, if you get a Zealot to come in later on, then it aids them in taking them out in less hits. Just little tiny things. No, that's not fair. Well, okay, that's a little bit unfair for the Zerg. How did you get that up there? I don't know. But good job denying behind this. Bisu expanding as well. The Forge coming up, most likely.
And still harassing lightly here also. Some Zerglings probably about to pop out and chase that probe around a little bit. Bisu doing a very good job so far. Nice blocking and all that. Wants to keep this probe alive, though, and it should not be too hard. You know, there's going to be some Zerglings chasing him, but if Bisu loses his probe to that, he deserves not to go to the finals.
Okay, well, that's a slightly harsh statement, Artosis.
I tell you what, Rapid, if he loses that probe, then Shine is going to pull the wool over his eyes and kill him. So he better keep that thing alive. If you can't keep that alive against two Zerglings right now, I mean, Bisu, we can tell he's on top of things. That little drone harass, it's like a lot of APM that you have to use, a lot of precision. So yeah, I stand by it. This guy has got to play a perfect game here.
Wow. All right, well, it's come down to game number 3. Bisu's probe is still alive. But we'll probably have to be ushered out here. And now that, you know, these
He's actually taken a lot more damage than he should have already on this.
Yeah. It's going to go down here. One more hit.
This is actually a little bit bad for Bisu, I have to say. You might want to send another one out or something. Like,
oh my, how do you...
This is a good juke right there.
Yeah, and he's continuing to just go around in circles. That was the hit, wasn't it? Okay,
this is really good micro from Shine, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, we talk a lot about the person running away, but you have to separate these lings and like click beyond the probe. If you right-click on something and you're chasing it, it's really hard because you have to slow down to attack. So what you want to do is click beyond and then click attack when you catch up, and it's a pretty precise thing.
Yeah, hard to control in the game. Also hard to kind of calculate. If you guys are in calculus out there, first year calc, or you just remember that class way back when, you probably study things called pursuit curves. It's actually really relevant when you see, you know, like Corsairs chasing Mutalisks or, you know, Zerglings chasing probes, because you have to not only see where it's going, but you also have to predict its movement. Denying that scouting, very important.
Oh my god, that was some good micro from Shine. Like, Bisu really wants to get in right now and check the hatch count, see if there's anything crazy going on. He has sent up a Zealot as well, so he'll get at least some intel here.
Yeah, when the Zealot comes through, I mean, Zealots are, I mean, they're not immortals, but they do feel immortal. They just have so much health. And shields, tough to get through.
Going after this drone right now. Does see the amount of lings out on the map. The probe has turned around as well, so he's going to try to make another dive in there. And you might be asking yourself, why is he trying so hard here? You need to know if it's 3-hatch Hydra. Because if it is and you don't know, then you die.
Yeah. Yeah. You just can't know. And if
that was actually a Zealot. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, if you if you do, or if you don't know and you still prepare for it, then sometimes you still die because you didn't need to. That's how good Zealots are, guys.
More Lings popping out. He has a pretty good idea at this point that this is not likely to be an all-in right now. It's a fair amount of Zerglings that are out, to be honest. But, you know, okay, he just now sees this Hydralisk Den. But to see that many Zerglings and no Hydras out quite yet, you're not really expecting to be busted right at that moment. So this has gotten him some good intel, these Zealots, rather.
Ooh, that's a little uncharacteristic. Yeah, Zealot will go down. Now, there's the first Corsair of what will probably be many. Last game, Bisu went for an insanely high number of Corsairs, but it just wasn't enough. It wound up getting picked off by massive clouds of Scourge and Mutas. Now, something tells me this game will not probably look very much like the previous one, but
yeah.
It's already starting out way different, but he could get there eventually.
Yeah, he's got the couple Corsairs out, just doesn't want to be losing these 2 Scourge this time. That was definitely a heartbreaker for him in the previous game.
Yeah, lost the first and third Corsairs which very early and really give away that advantage.
And, okay, so this game, Bisu is getting more into what you want to do as a Protoss, generally speaking. Ooh, he has the flanking Scourge coming down right now. He might just barely catch it.
Oh, great control there. Good job by Shine to have those in a position where they can scout. Now, here are the important Scourges. And they get right on top.
This move is so good. This is so nice.
There's nothing that shoots air here except for 1 Corsair.
Yeah, and 1 Corsair, you can't really fight against that. So he might be re-queuing Corsairs and then canceling. Because if the Corsair just pops out, because that's where it pops out. Yeah, okay, just let it finish. I'm surprised.
Wow.
That he let it finish
and it's
there.
And it's going to be Mutas here because he knows he's picked off enough Corsairs that he'll have higher Muta count.
This is crazy, and he's going into 5 hatches right now. So this is going to be a little bit tough, right? Okay, so there's 1 cannon, 2 Corsairs. He can fly right over all this and just try to suicide onto these Corsairs.
And I think that might be what he is going to do. More and more Mutas continuing to pop out. There's an Evo chamber back home to make a great Sim City. This tiny force of Zealots, I mean, it can't shoot up, but we'll see how much damage it can get done to the base while while Shine's Corsairs are across the map.
Well, there's some great Sim City going on, so I'm not sure it's going to be too much. He has multiple Sunkens going up at both bases. These cannons coming up, though. He needs to not die to the... Oh, no! He lost another Corsair.
He did. He lost that Corsair. He's going to lose even more. Oh, my God. Shine's killed every single anti-air unit in Bisu's army.
All right, but Bisu is putting on some damage at this 3rd base right now. Another Corsair pops out and gets killed immediately. This cannon not going to make it in either, but the Zealots are definitely getting some counter damage done.
Shine brought over 2 more Scourge to sit right on top of that Stargate and take out any additional Scourge that come out. This is insanely much damage. Yes, that's what it is. All right, so much damage being done.
Yeah, it certainly is. A lot of probes starting to fall. He has to make Dragoons right now to push these away. His Zealots, no doubt, he's microing up a storm with, but those are going to be cleaned up pretty quickly with the 5 hatch play here from Shine.
1 Corsair, 1 Dragoon.
Oh my God, there's so many probes going down right now.
This is too much damage, Artosis. There's no probes in the main, and now even probes continuing to be pushed out at the natural. I think Shine willing to lose these Mutas because he's picking off too many probes.
Well, yeah, especially with this 5 hatch play, man. He can just go right into Hydralisks and be completely fine. He's forced out more Corsairs. He's killed so much. Looks like the drones are pretty much gone from the 3rd base, though, so at least that's one tiny thing that's good for Bisu.
We should mention that Bisu did get a lot of damage done as well. Taking out drones from Zergs is really painful because they have to spend larva between attacking units, not attacking units, and it's a hard decision to make.
Oh wow, he's actually staying on the Mutalisk tech. I guess you cannot blame him too much here. A lot of Lings and Mutas can definitely surround and kill something like this many Dragoons. But there is an Archon out here, and that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, and there's no upgrades for these Mutas, so they don't have that +1 armor to make them more resilient against Corsairs.
It's actually a very good point. The +1 armor is incredibly important.
Oh, and a Dark Templar mixed in with this. There's no Overlords with Shine's army either.
That is true. I think he's going to run it around and see if he can just sneak into a base. Like maybe there's no Overlords in the main or something like that. You can run by a Sunken pretty easily with a DT.
So if Bisu can hang on from this heavy Muta harass and get that Dark Templar in a mineral line somewhere, that will be pretty good. 4 Corsairs here for Bisu, so he has gone into a higher air army, but...
Oh no.
No, he stopped his Corsairs.
Oh my God. Yeah, a little miss micro there by Bisu. He cannot keep allowing that to happen, even as the Archon to try to catch everything. Look at this, the surrounding on that Archon, going to pick it off in a matter of seconds. That means the Dragoons will fall as well. The Ling's running past.
He's going to lose his whole army.
This is a huge moment for Shine. He's dealt so much damage to Bisu. Now Bisu losing all of his units.
Oh my god, Bisu's going to lose everything here. He's going to fight 2 Corsairs to an army of 10 mutas? I don't think so, Bisu.
Oh man, he just barely holds him back. Some Zealots at the wall, the cannons and a morphing Archon, all between Bisu and defeat right now.
Observer, who's not Shine, pointing out that Shine, the other observer, is still having a little bit of difficulty up at that 3rd base. He's not elected to expand any further, but he does have those 5 hatcheries pumping nothing but mutas right now.
And Mutiling all over the place. Of course, when you start getting a few Archons in here with that +1 attack against these unupgraded units, that's a massive amount of damage. Archons are scary, but losing that first Archon is brutal.
Oh, don't want to fly that over there?
No, certainly not. Okay, right. Lurker time. This is quite nice. This is going to start to really counter the types of units that Bisu's making. I mean, Archons are kind of good against everything, but really you're going to need some, obviously Scarabs are going to be good against some Psy Storms. Dragoons can be good at picking off Lurkers as well, but we don't even see a single Observer in this game other than Shine.
Well, yeah, there is another one he's working right now.
Well, we don't see him though, right?
Yeah, that is well played, Antosis.
Okay.
Every time I think I got you, just one step ahead of the game. Okay, well, here comes the big flock of mutas, and Scourge are going to fly right over this, but great defensive Archons there to push them back away and prevent those Scourge from getting on the Corsairs. Lots of mobility here for both players' armies, and a really cool dance to watch.
So a lot of damage has been dealt to Bisu, though, right? Like, he was really going to want a 3rd base ASAP, and he can't break through these armies that have the Lurkers in them. Doesn't have the detection, and even if he did, these choke points are really hard to attack into. Sunkens plus Lurkers, it's something that takes Protoss a very long time to actually break.
High Templar, they're going to get dove on and picked off immediately.
Oh my god, great pick off there by Shine. But he might lose every muta because of this. Okay, splitting. Oh, that was a great split.
Yeah, he loses 1 muta when they're all in a terrible position. Great job.
That was super well done. He finally has that +1 Zerg carapace, or Flyer carapace rather.
+1 for ground range as well, and here comes a bunch of Hydras. Shine putting together a really solid push.
Okay, getting into the middle of the map right now. Can Bisu actually do anything against this? I mean, he's got some quality units, but still no Observer, don't forget. So every time those Lurkers burrow, he kind of just has to run away. But in situations like this, can turn and pick a few units off.
Was also diving in with these Corsairs, trying to pick off a bunch of Overlords, making it more difficult for Shine to reinforce, but he is going to turn around here. Bisu will start to lose a few units.
Okay, Bisu just trying to stay mobile on the map. His Corsair is actually finding these mutas right now, which is pretty good. But the Hydra Lurker push starting to come in.
A couple of Zealots there, but not nearly enough. Here go the Burrows there. He's got Lurkers behind this Hydra army.
Oh, he's trying to take out all the detection. There is a cannon that's kind of far away, so he should have some at least left over. These Lurkers, though, I don't think he sees right now. No, he doesn't have any detection on top of it. So a lot of free damage going on to Bisu's army.
Yeah, he's popping a bunch of it as it does walk through. Those 2 Archons are going to get picked off. One of them barely survives. There's a lot of mutas coming in to reinforce.
Oh, this is not looking good for Bisu at all. Here come the mutas targeting down the camera.
We can't see anymore, guys.
Oh my god, and even though he loses all of those, this push is just brutal.
There's no detection for these Lurkers. Bisu just can't even see them. They're going to break down this front door, and with it, possibly even the natural. GG! Bisu taps out. Shine has taken out the Protoss Dragon for the 2nd time in a series where many people might not have expected him to win at all.
Well, now that he's up 2-1.
Say it again, Autosis.
2-1 Shine advantage against Bisu in the round of 4 of ASL in 2017. Never thought I would say these words. Shine came in here today very confident, and we are seeing exactly why. The next map is Outsider. This is the hardest map in the pool by miles for Protoss against Zerg. Bisu, of course, is going to have a great plan. There's not a question about that. Can he actually beat Shine here, though, who has been a strategic mastermind?
How are you asking that question, Artosis? What a question to ask.
Can Bisu beat Shine?
Yeah, it seems really backwards, but that is the world we live in. Now, none of these people in the studio tonight can call their friends to come down here because it is actually so packed out. But all of you guys watching online can call your friends and tell them to get in here and watch this absolutely amazing series. They have time to get here too because we are about to head out to a quick commercial break. So don't go anywhere, guys. We've got game number 4 rather, of tonight. It's going to be Bisu versus Shine from the map Outsider.
지금까지 방구하러 가서 나쁘다는 말 들어본 적 있어?
모두가 쉬쉬해온 방에 대한 나쁜 정보.
다방면으로 보자. 다방.
왜 아직도 안 됐어?
같이 하던가.
뭐요?
그 반지라는 게임인데 누구하고도 몬스터 사냥할 수 있어?
그렇죠.
조합을 통해서 이런 아이템을 가져갈 수 있다는 게 매우 메리트가 좀 크다고 생각합니다. 야, 근데 무기가 봐봐, 존나 멋있잖아.
대박이에요, 이거.
그래.
나이스.
오, 좋아. 자, 지금 이렇게 하는 중간에도 자동 사냥이 돼가지고
그렇죠?
EXP 경험치가 오지게 오르고 있죠. 혹시 1위 길드 가입되냐 물어봐. 와,
와.
반지 많은 다운 부탁드리고.
아니, 사람.
예,
부탁드리겠습니다.
뭐야 이게? 설마 탄? 전국민 슈팅 그라운드 탄! 지금 사전 예약하세요.
빛의 힘을 보여드리죠.
반갑네.
얘들아, 힘을 빌려줘. 누구도 나를 막을 순 없어. 방해하겠다면 전부 부숴주지. 판타지 마스터즈 2.
냄새가 나. 어두운 곳에 숨은 냄새를 풍기는 바로 너!
바로 너!
원인은 쾌쾌한 에어컨 냄새. 신제품 페브리즈 차량용으로 상쾌하게. 차량용.
오버워치 아이돌 학교를 소개합니다. 대한민국을 대표하는 최고의 게임 아이돌을 육성시키는 e스포츠 전문 학교.
선서. 우리는 오버워치 아이돌 학교의 교육과정을 성실히 임하며 최고의 게임 아이돌로 성장할 것을 다짐합니다.
좋았어. 이제부턴 진지 모드.
오버워치 아이돌 학교의 목표는 졸업과 동시에 즉시 천상계 입문.
제가 여러분을 돌보겠어요.
신입생 입학 조건 단 하나, 게임 실력 필요 없어요. e스포츠와 오버워치를 사랑하고 PC방을 좋아하면 돼요. 왜냐고요? 저희 오버워치 아이돌 학교에는 여러분의 실력 향상을 위한 1대1 맞춤형 수업이 준비되어 있거든요.
따라올 수 있겠어?
영웅의 이해, 전장의 이해, 오버워치 멘탈 관리야, 실전 훈련. 우리 팀 피해 상황이 심각할 때 훈련은 필수인데요.
마음을 비우고 눈앞의 임무에 집중하라.
실전 대처술 등 체계적인 교과 수업 그리고 균형 잡힌 PC방 식단을 통해 게임 아이돌로 성장하게 됩니다. 대한민국을 넘어 전 세계를 입덕시킨 오버워치 아이돌 프로게이머로 탄생되는 거죠. 오버워치 아이돌 학교는 매주 목요일 저녁 10시에 방송됩니다.
뭘 넋을 놓고 보고 있나?
등교 시간 확인하여 지각하지 마세요. 오버워치 아이돌 학교.
Welcome back. No, you're not dreaming. Shine right now leads against Bisu 2-1. He's been playing very strongly, and Bisu has not been able to hold off his onslaughts.
It's just been inspired play here for Shine, knowing not only having creative builds to execute, but then also doing them very well against one of the hardest, if not the hardest, Protoss opponent in the world right now. So very, very strong performance, and he's heading into the map Outsider.
Yeah, and this is the most Zerg favored map in the whole pool by far. In fact, we've had like one victory on it for Protoss, and that was Best against Sulky recently, and Best even ended up losing that series, which is kind of wild and could occur here as well. Can Bisu show us a ridiculously strong game? I mean, he's got to use an off strategy because the map is just kind of off a bit.
Yeah.
But is that going to be enough?
You know, I didn't keep my eyes on Bisu the entire time. He went back into our player area, and Bisu from 2007 time warped into the future and replaced him. I wouldn't know. He's still just as handsome as he was all the way back then, but he has to come up with some pretty handsome play to make it through just to stay alive here.
He's gonna need some damn gorgeous play, okay? Shine has really been on fire. He's been abusing every little piece of Bisu's play.
Well, if Bisu is gorgeous, Shine is gorgeous.
He is certainly scourgeous. He's been killing off Corsairs left and right with Scourge. Oh man, this is a crazy series right now. What an upset this could be. Shine making a finals. This man is married with 2 kids. I mean, and here he is.
Never did I expect to see Bisu in an episode of Married with Children, but that is what Shine is, and he's 1 game away of eliminating Bisu from the ASL Season 3. Bisu with his back up against the wall. Perhaps he is the diamond that will be made stronger by all this pressure, or will he get crushed? We're about to find out as we head into our fourth map of the night. It's Bisu against Shine
on Outsider.
Indeed it is. That is our map for game number 4. Very Zerg favored map. Shine, Zerg of a different flavor, is going to get up against Bisu. I could not have asked for a more epic game. Definitely a little bit surprised to see Shine ahead a set.
It is surprising indeed, but he's had great play. He's had tenacity in there as well, and Bisu hasn't been able to hold on. So let's see if he can really up his game to that god tier of Protoss that we know that he is.
I mean, if that last game was good, we are about to see what it truly means to go further beyond. Here we go, game number 4, Bisu versus Shine in the ASL Season 3 semifinals. She'll let the crowd cast for us. Our purple Protoss player, he is Bisu. His Zerg opponent, the ASL and GSL observer, the everyman, who has made it to the ASL round of 4, is now up 2-1 against Bisu. That's Shine.
Oh, so packed in here tonight as well.
It really is. Every time I turn around and look, there's more and more people just lined up against the walls. Hope our camera people can like get a cool shot of how exactly full this place is, because every single one of these people, have watched these guys probably for years. I mean, we see that kid in the audience who probably has also watched for years.
Yeah.
If he has his good StarCraft 11 parents.
Kid that big, yeah. His parents probably played StarCraft when they were kids. So
perhaps Bisu is the reason he was born. Way back in the day, it's like, we need to create the next level of Protoss. So,
well, maybe he'll be the foretold one who can beat Shine in a PvZ match. I don't know.
Well, first he's got to jump across 2 buildings and make a leap that nobody's ever made before. I don't know. That's how it happened in the Matrix. That's apparently a sign. Well, here we go. We've got our first opening builds coming out. No pool just yet for Shine. So see what he opts to go for. He's gone 9 pool both times before. Not wanting to go for anything super greedy just yet. He is droning up quite a bit.
Yeah, looks like he's going to throw a hatchery down perhaps right away here.
Right as I say, we haven't seen 12 pool. Here we go.
2 gate. 2 gate against this hatchery first. He scouts him right away as well. So not too shabby, Bisu. He could put that pressure on very heavily.
Indeed, he might. And, this is a 3-player map, so even if you scout the wrong position, you know where your opponent spawned. But if Shine doesn't see this coming, this is a build order advantage for Bisu.
Okay, that spawning pool coming down right now. No doubt Bisu going to be producing some Zealots and sending them across.
Yeah.
Going to be harassing with this probe on double time here, putting damage on these drones. Does take a little bit longer for drones to heal.
Even though Tasteless is not here, this is definitely a Tasteless build. Watched him play quite a bit with this before he took an arrow to the knee, or apparently the wrist in this case. But yeah, it's going to be a very aggressive build. Oh, actually pulling a couple of extra probes to send as well.
Yeah, so Shine sees exactly what's happening because he did scout in the correct direction. That's a big deal. This is going to help him in his decision-making.
Wow. So
what will that decision-making be? I don't know, because Shine is smarter than me. So
spawning pool's not even done yet, and there's already 2 probes and a Zealot about to hit that natural expansion. He might even actually have to cancel this if he sees what's coming. He's not going to.
He might have to leave it to get the larva even, to just put in perspective how bad the situation could be right now. 4 drones coming down. Nice making that Zealot dance a bit. Definitely helpful. Might be trying to put some creep colonies down here as well. But look at that. The probes are blocking where the creep colonies try to go.
Oh, my God.
Some good dancing, though. Good drills on these drones thus far.
He's got to find somewhere to put that creep colony now, and he's blocked again.
One of the Zealots actually catches a Ling. Ling dances around and gets killed off for free.
You know, it's hard to find a spot to put it down, but finally he will have that erected. 2 Zealots and 2 probes, the Zerg's worst nightmare.
Oh, man, this is a lot of damage being put out onto these Zerglings. The drone's coming down, trying to help surround. He's going to start picking off a few of these Zealots. 2 of them go down, but another one arrives.
And now there are 2 Zealots, but now 3 probes, a 3rd Zealot coming in there.
This Sunken's going to just blow up. It's not going to make it. He cancels.
Yeah, you can't actually morph it because you actually lose HP when you do morph a Sunken.
Yeah, they only have 300 health. The creep has 4, so you can't let it take too much while morphing.
Great control on these Zealots. They do continue to fall, and a few drones have been picked up, but this is taking a lot of Zerglings to be invested to stop this rush.
Oh, God, he's lost quite a few drones here as well. More and more Zealots continue to pop out, and no doubt more probes being made at home for Bisu, so his economy's looking fine. Finally, a Sunken gets up, and Shine may end up holding this.
Now he's going to kill off this Zealot before it gets into his natural mineral, or its main mineral line, and the Zealots for Bisu are turning around.
Okay, so I wasn't actually looking during the whole thing, but it looks like he was mining gas the whole time, which would actually be a bit of a mistake. He was microing so hard, you don't want to have that much gas. He could have hundreds of gas right now, and that's not what he would really be looking for. Now, the speed is done. Zergling's rushing across the map right now, but Bisu's going to be able to wall.
So tense. This is like Anakin hops in his pod racer. This is intense. It's like, no, Anakin, that is not intense. This truly is, what is best in life for us here tonight. Non-stop action, pressure, crazy build, layer on the way here for Shine on just 2 bases.
Yeah, this is... I wonder if he's just going to, like, rush up to a Spire here, something like that, try to catch his opponent off guard. Bisu a little bit late on the core, of course, because he was spending so much time and effort on that Zealot rush.
Yeah, now gonna... okay, I throw down a Nexus down here? Yeah, alright. So we will be expanding to that mineral-only location, so no additional gas there, and Protoss do need a lot of that, especially if you're going to produce a lot of Corsairs or even Reavers later on.
Ooh, a Hydralisk Den. So this is looking a lot like the Game 1 build on Circuit Breaker.
Okay.
Very likely he's just going to be going for some Hydralisk drops. Slow Zealots are going to have a hard time against Hydras, so Shine can definitely out-micro him in that way.
Yeah, when you do get Zealot speed, then they can close the distance, and Zealots will out-damage Hydras every day of the week. So it's definitely a big turnaround, but there's no way that Bisu will know to go straight there. Maybe, perhaps, but it'll be interesting to see if that is what is in the cards. Artosis certainly seems like it is, with these Hydras headed across the map.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for Bisu, but he's already got the advantage from that early rush. That definitely went well for him, right? He got a lot of drones. He forced a ton of Zerglings out, and he's playing a pretty safe game here. He's not being too greedy. He's going to have a Corsair out soon, and should be able to identify reasonably quickly what Shine is up to.
He's morphing actually a cannon there at the front because he knows there's going to be a sizable amount of pressure on the way. Indeed there is, but I don't think it will be coming for the front at all. It might actually just be coming around the back.
Well, you got to have that cannon too, just because otherwise the Hydras will bust through the Zealots that are just on hold position on the ramp, so you need to be getting pot shots at them. So Bisu kind of crossing his T's and dotting his I's right now. And a lot of Hydras being rallied down, by the way.
Yeah, this is a lot of Hydras. Now, there is a way to get in behind through a back door, but so there are 10 Protoss temples that are stacked on top of each other. Each has 1,500 HP, and so that means that if you try to single target damage it down, it's going to take basically forever because there's 15,000 HP there. But with Lurkers, they have splash damage, which damages all 10 temples at the same time and takes them out very, very quickly, which opens up a door into Bisu's back door. Well, into Bisu's back expansion. that one place, yeah.
Okay, these Lurkers coming up right now, and it looks like he wants to poke. I wasn't expecting the Lurkers this game, to be honest, but trying to get rid of these Zealots and dealing a lot of damage to them right away. The Ling's trying to get up on top of everything.
He's going to take out every Zealot. Insane splash damage. There's Lurkers versus Probes in Bisu's main.
Oh, this is bad right now. A lot of Lings getting on top of these Probes. Bisu is in trouble here.
If he kills off this Robo-Bane, there's no Observer, then every Lurker will kill everything.
Yeah, you can't stop the Lurkers if you can't see them. More and more Lings coming up right now. Uh-oh, a shuttle is what pops out.
No, Bisu loses it, and with it, possibly even the game. You can see that concerned look on Bisu's face. It's GG! Shine has done it! Shine has done it! He has defeated Bisu 3-1, knocked him out of ASL, and advanced to the ASL Season 3 Grand Finals!
This is craziness. Shine's first finals of his life, and he has gotten there just railing through some of the best players in the world, defeating the greatest Protoss vs. Zerg player of all time, going up, hugging his mom.
So is his grandfather there as well with him. They're sitting in the audience. I guarantee you, Artosis, that they have both watched Bisu in the prime of his life, beating almost everyone as one of the best players Korea has ever produced. And to see their son or grandson on stage in front of an absolutely packed out crowd, beating a legendary player.
Dude, it is a remarkable thing that we have witnessed here tonight. And this begs the question, if Bisu, the best ever at this matchup, cannot defeat Shine at it, who can? Who is going to stop Shine?
What a question to ask of a father of two, a son, a grandson, and now a ASL Grand Finalist. What a time to be alive. I cannot wait to get some of his thoughts. He must be absolutely just mental right now.
Well, this is such a crazy thing, to be a pro gamer for as long as he has been, and, just the fact that here he is in his first finals now, so much later in his life. I guarantee you that he assumed when he retired from being a StarCraft 2 pro that was it. That's the end of his pro gaming career, but here he is. Such an important moment for him. And man, does he deserve it.
He absolutely does, Artosis. So many people in the crowd cheering him on with fan signs. I mean, you come to a StarCraft tournament with Bisu playing, and you bring a Shine sign. That's a level of dedication.
Yeah,
You can even hear for our crowd cheers during the games how many people were cheering for him, even going up against his hardest challenge yet. And I mean, if Shine hadn't played before the previous era of Road War, then he would almost be a royal roader at this point.
이 프로게이머로서 결승 진출 한번 해보겠다는 그 대내였는데 드디어 일어났습니다.
It has taken 10 years to advance to a semifinals, and now you're advancing to a finals.
이런
How do you
느낌은
feel?
처음이었던 것 같아요. 사실 팬들의 환호를 들으면서 무대에서
He says, I don't know,
적은
I've never
많은데
had this feeling before.
결승 무대라는
There are many moments that I've had playing my games in a lot of tournaments with fans
다시금
shouting.
도전해서 이제 결승 무대에 서게 된
And I'm
건데
actually tired as a pro gamer and retired rather, and became an observer for ASL and for GSL. It's just really hard.
저 오셔가지고 항상 응원을 좀 해주셨는데 항상 약속을 했죠. 더 높은 곳까지 올라가겠다. 정말 잘하겠다. 근데 오늘 정말 오랜만에 이렇게 할머니 할아버지 모시고 이 무대에서 결승 진출이 일어났습니다. 여러 가지 생각들이 들죠. 항상 이 뒤에서 지켜봐줬던 수많은 팬분들 그리고 지인들 가족들에게 하고 싶으신 말씀 있으면 다 하세요.
사실 이번에 결승전 준비하면서 이제 연습 상대를 구하기 힘들었었어요. 그래서 그럼에도 불구하고 시간 내서 이제 용태형이랑 영화형이랑 현재랑 이제 기훈이랑 막 짜투리 시간 내서 열심히 도와준 것도 너무 고맙고 오늘 좀 와서 제가 화났던 부분이 경기 시작하기 전에 제가 마우스패드를 두고 왔었어요.
When I came to the studio today,
경기 임하는 자세에 있어서 좀 그런 부분이 부족한 부분이 있어서 굉장히 화가 났었는데 FD
and so I was really upset because I was worried that I didn't prepare enough and by forgetting my mouse pad. But my friends actually tried to find the same brand of mouse pad that I use, and they got that for me. There were many crisis moments where I
정말 큰 힘이 되는 것 같아요.
kind of doubted myself, but I played really well.
대표님께서도 항상 저 많이 도와주시고 또 다른 형님들도 많이 응원해주시고 제 친구들도 항상 응원해주고 가족들이랑
on my personal stream that I have, and they came down here to support me, and my family and my friends all came to the studio tonight to cheer me on.
네, 이제 이번 시즌의 그 돌풍에 주인공이었고 그러니까 수많은 팬분들의 가슴 속에 불을 지핀 선수가 아니면 이영환 선수거든요. 이제 좀 여유 있는 상황이자 결승 한 자리를 지금 지켜보는 상황인데 김민철 선수와 이영호 선수가 남은 4강을 앞두고 있습니다. 개인적으로 어떤 선수가 왔으면 좋겠어요? 만나고 싶은 선수가 누굽니까?
저는 개인적으로 결승전에서 이영호 선수랑 게임을 해보고 싶어요.
He says personally, I want to meet
Flash in the grand finals. 저 같은 경우는 이제 토스전은 많이 보여드렸던 것 같은데 테란전을 검증할 기회가 많이 없었거든요. 최고의 무대에서 최종 경기 상대로 저희 테란전을 한번 보여주면서
and I don't think I have a lot of I've had a lot of opportunities to show my ZVT skill.
제가 이야기를 듣기로는 이영호 선수를 잡기 위해서 준비한 빌드가 있다는 얘기 들었어요. 준비가 벌써 돼 있고 이영호 선수라고 할지라도 뭐 두려움 없이 이영호는 태풍이 바라고 달려버릴 수 있다는 말씀이세요?
네, 선수 시절부터 항상 준비했던 빌드들이 있어요. 이거는 테란전 빌드를 짜면 이건 다른 테란 선수들한테 쓰지 말고 이영호 선수만 만나면 쓰자 라고 하면서 준비했던 수많은 빌드들이 있고 만약 이영호 선수가 올라오게 된다면 정말 열심히 준비해가지고 팬들의 기대에 만족할 수 있는 게임을 보여드릴 수 있어요.
To use against Flash only, but I've never had a chance to pull them out.
예,
So I've had a lot of opportunities, but I've never had the chance to use those builds. So now I finally have that opportunity.
컨디션 관리가 좀 안 되는 상황에서 1세트에 시도했던 그 전략 자체가 너무나도 이 깔끔히 상대에게 그 간파당하는 바람에 패배를 했는데 그 이후에 연달아 3연승을 했습니다.
So it seems like you've got a lot going on. Like you missed a few things. Like you've had to you forgot your mouse pad. You actually had to observe GSL earlier today for your job. So how did you prepare? And how did you feel about your practice and your strategies coming into tonight's games?
연습 과정에서 이제 4세트를 준비하면 4세트를 이제 다 이긴다는 생각으로 준비했었기 때문에 첫 경기를 지더라도 마음을 다잡고 그다음 경기부터 이제 마인드 컨트롤을 했던 부분도 컸었고 이제 안드로메다 같은 경우는 두 번째 사용된 맵에서는 제가 그 빌드가 굉장히 좋은 빌드여가지고 승률이 굉장히 높았어요. 그래서
plans to win every other game.
3세트마저 내가 잡으면은 오늘 올라갈 수 있겠다는 생각을 침착하게
I use when I practice. They have like huge win rates when I use them. So I have a lot of confidence about my builds.
애초에 그 정면만을 생각을 하고 있었던 그런 공격이었습니까?
네, 사실 애초에 12압이란 빌드로 시작해가지고 김태형 선수가 아웃사이드에서 투게이트를 많이 하시더라고요. 그래서 이제 투게이트 맞춤으로 질럿이 많은 빌드니까 저글링 러커로 한 타임이 있을 거라고 생각했어요.
맞춤으로 잡아냈다는 말씀이신데 자 그럼 이제 팬분들에게 결승전 와서 나의 플레이를 지켜봐달라고 한 말씀 해주시죠.
네, 다음 주 이제 어린이 대공원에서 결승전을 하게 되는데 오시는 발걸음 아쉬움 안 남게 기대감을 만족시킬 수 있는 경기 준비할 수 있도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
네, 정말 축하드리고 멋진 경기 결승전에서 기대하겠습니다. 여러분 뜨거운 박수를 보내주십시오. 이영환 선수
I won't disappoint you. And that is going to do it for our interview. What a day of StarCraft it has been, Artosis.
Shine 3-1's Bisu and goes right to finals and then says he wants to play Flash because he has builds prepared to kill him.
Imagine that. This is a guy, they call it Bag of Builds, and he just pulls out something new and incredible every single time. And yet still, there's a dark, hidden mystery of builds he has prepared from the days of yore, Artosis, and he still has yet to pull out. We're about to see what he has.
It's amazing to see him changing the strategy playbook of these matches, 20-ish years into Brood War.
Against the Protoss player who did the same thing, who revolutionized this matchup. Still remember that first finals he played against Savior and he bopped him. And at that time he was the best player in the world, and Bisu just takes him out in a matchup that was really sided the other way. And now Shine here today has done exactly the same thing by just rolling over Bisu 3-1.
Amazing play coming out of Shine, and you have to be afraid of him no matter what race you play, no matter who you are. If he can take out Bisu, he can take out Flash, he can take out anybody. So this is a wild thing that we're watching. This guy is the new strategic boss of StarCraft 1. There's not anyone who is showing this type of play.
I just don't even know. Like, he has the sexiest StarCraft mind in the world here. You just never know what to experience, never know what you're going to see. We know a little bit more of it here tonight. Just so privileged to watch these games.
Don't forget, ASL is a new tournament, so Shine is technically a possible Royal Roader, meaning that the first time he's qualified for the league, he may go ahead and win it.
That is true if you consider just the league. It's not necessarily your total pro career.
No, just per league, so that's his first time in ASL. Now here's our match that's tomorrow night, guys. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. KST on Sunday here. And that's going to be Sulky going up against Flash. And even though Flash is the greatest Terran on Earth, the greatest player on Earth, and the best TVZer, no doubt about it, Sulky has beaten him recently and is an extremely strong legend of StarCraft 2 who has shown that skill again in StarCraft 1.
I don't know how it could be possible, but somehow we will fit even more people in this Africa studio for what is going to be an insane night of matches. And if you can't make it down to the Freak Up studio in Seoul, South Korea, you can always watch us online. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Tomorrow. And even if you can't watch it tomorrow, you'll get a chance to watch the grand final, so please come down for that if you have the opportunity. It'll be at Children's Grand Park at 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's going to be just an awesome finals no matter who's there. I mean, Shine is such an exciting player to watch right now, so it's going to be fantastic. Don't forget as well, on Tuesday, we will have that third place match, so Bisu against whoever loses tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ASL action does not stop, man.
It really does not. So we'll have ASL tomorrow, and then on the 4th for the grand finals.
And on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, and on Tuesday. So 3 more days. That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight, guys. Hope you have enjoyed the games. If you didn't, go back, rewatch them, and enjoy them again. Have a great afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. We love you guys. Have a good night.
From This is not my punishment. This is. You can never take our hearts away.